Hi guys, what's up? In this video I'll show you the difference between Samsung Galaxy S5, which is on the left hand side of the screen, and the new Samsung Galaxy S6, which is on the right hand side of the screen. Now it's an interesting video, so I thought of making as precise and as to the point as possible. Let us not waste further more time and just dig deep into the aspects of both the handsets. Now both the handsets has a 5.1 inch of display. Now the Samsung Galaxy S5, which is on the blue variation over here, does support a resolution of 1080 into 1920 pixels, whereas the Samsung Galaxy S6, it has a 1440 into 2560 pixels. The pixel density on Samsung Galaxy S6 is 577 ppi, whereas for Samsung Galaxy S5 it's 432 ppi. Now as both the handsets has the same size of the screen, but in Galaxy S6 the pixel density is greater, so the brightness, the saturations, the vividness is much more clearer in S6 than S5. Both the handsets does support a 16mm of color, and it has a multi-touch Super AMOLED screen. It does have the light sensor, the proximity sensors, the scratch resistance, and most striking in Samsung Galaxy S5 is a Corning Gorilla Glass 3 on the front, whereas for Samsung Galaxy S6 it does have Corning Gorilla Glass not only at the front but also at the back. The Samsung Galaxy S5, it weighs around 145 grams, whereas the S6 it weighs around 138 grams. The Samsung Galaxy S6 has no reference of plastic whatsoever. It is made out of premium aluminium and has a covering of a Corning Gorilla Glass 4 at the front as well as at the back. So the full handset is a scratch-free handset. Whereas for S5, as we know, it does only have the Corning Gorilla Glass 3 at the front, but it's a plastic handset. Now having said that, the Samsung Galaxy S5 does have the water resistant technology, which is surprisingly missing in the new Samsung Galaxy S6. Let me very quickly go ahead and give a physical overview of both the handsets. Now for the Samsung Galaxy S6, you will find the power blaster and the noise cancellation speakers at the top. For Samsung Galaxy S5, the power blaster and the noise cancellation speakers is present at the top, but additionally the 3.5mm jack input is also at the top for Samsung Galaxy S5, whereas for S6 the 3.5mm jack input is at the bottom, and along with that it does have the USB connector or the charger input point, the microphone, and the speaker grills. Whereas for Samsung Galaxy S5, you will find that the USB connector is being protected by a protection over here. You will find the connector over here and obviously the microphones over here. Now for the left hand side on both the device, you will find the volume rockers. Whereas for Samsung Galaxy S6, the volume rockers are divided, but it's a continuous button for Samsung Galaxy S5. Similarly, on the right hand side, for S6 you will find the power on and off button, which is similar for Samsung Galaxy S5 as well, but for S6 you will have the nano SIM tool again over here at the right hand side. At the back for both the handsets you will find a 16 megapixel camera, and both the handset does have a LED flash and the finger sensors present over there. The Samsung branding is obviously present for both. Now for S5, currently in this video it's a custom cover, so it's not, the branding is not present, but you will find the Samsung branding for S5 at the back also. Similarly at the front for both the handsets you will find that the front is a Samsung branding, the earpiece, and the front camera. Strikingly, for S5 it's a 2.1 megapixel shooter, whereas for S6 it's a 5 megapixel shooter. Now you will find the home button for both the handsets, and similarly the back button and the multitasking button on either side of the home button for both the handsets. Now in the Antutu benchmark test, you will find the most striking and the most amazing difference between the two handsets. The Samsung Galaxy S5, which is almost 7 months old, you will find it gives a reading of 40,928, whereas it's an amazing mind-blowing score of 64,770 for Samsung Galaxy S6. Now if I dig deep for the Samsung Galaxy S6, it does runs on an Exynos 7420 chipset that is supported by an 8-core processor with a quad-core processor of Cortex A5 tree and an additional provision for our quad-core processor of Cortex A57 in a 64-bit architecture. It has a GPU of Mali T760. Most importantly, it does have a 3 gigs of RAM. Now, for the Samsung Galaxy S5, it does have the Qualcomm Snapdragon 801 chipset. It's supported by a quad-core processor that is clocked at 2.5 MHz, and it has a GPU of Adreno 330. Additionally, it has a 2 gigs of RAM. Now, the figures in both the handsets will give you the idea that obviously Samsung Galaxy S6 will have a slight edge, not a slight edge, a huge edge in multitasking, performance, and a better stability of a smartphone from Samsung in its flagship model. For both the handsets, you will find that the auto brightness sensors are present, and you can also adjust the brightness manually. Similarly, if I go to settings and navigate to about device for both the handsets, now remember the Samsung Galaxy S6 is on the left hand side of the screen, so you will find that this particular handset runs on an Android version 5.0.2, which is Lollipop, and for the Samsung Galaxy S5 it runs on a Android version 4.4.2, which is KitKat. Although having said that, the Galaxy S5 of late did get the Lollipop update, so we need to manually update it, and you will have Lollipop even for Samsung Galaxy S5 currently. As stated, the Samsung Galaxy S5, this particular model is a 16 gigs internal memory storage, out of which nearly about 12 gigs is available. Additionally, it does support for a provision of a micro SD card up to 128 gigs. So storage wise, you get a lot of space with Samsung Galaxy S5. Now with S6, Samsung has introduced that it will not support a micro SD card. So this handset comes in a variation of 32 gigs, 64 gigs and 128 gigs model. Pricing varies according to the space availability. So it's a pro, it's a con, whichever way you feel it for Samsung Galaxy S6. But I suggest that S5 does have an edge over S6 in storage department due to the fact that it supports a micro SD card. From a battery perspective, you will find that the Samsung Galaxy S5, which is on the right hand side of the screen, you will find that it has a removable back cover and a removable battery that has a 2800 milliampere of battery power. Now for the Samsung Galaxy S6, it's only 2550 milliampere power. So figure wise, Samsung S5 obviously scores the most. And in S6, it's a non-removable battery at the back, so it may prove to be a con on extensive usage, maybe in a year or so. Now having said that, the Samsung Galaxy S6 has some of the latest implementations and technologies inbuilt with wireless charging, and you can use the phone of S6 for a continuous stretch of 4 hours with a minimum charging for say only about 10 minutes or so. The Samsung Galaxy S5 does support a talk time of 21 hours, whereas it's only 17 hours for Samsung Galaxy S6. Mind you, I have tested with single SIM for both the handsets, and the video playback time and the music playback times in both the scenarios, somehow the S5 does tends to last long than the S6. Now lastly, let us check the power of the camera for both the handsets. The Samsung Galaxy S5 does have a 16 megapixel shooter with an LED flash. Similarly, for the Samsung Galaxy S6, it is a 16 megapixel shooter with LED flash. Now, let us go to the camera for both the handsets and check out the settings and all. Let us first go ahead with Samsung Galaxy S5. In the modes, you will see that it does have the auto, the beauty face, the shorten mode, the panorama, virtual tour, dual camera, and the option to download plenty other modes. Similarly, you will find the settings over here, and the orientation of the settings does look similar to the old Samsung Galaxy handsets that it used to have. You will find the picture size, the burst shots, the picture stabilization, each and everything can be managed from here. Whereas for Samsung Galaxy S6, you will find that under modes, you will find a new addition to a mode that says a Pro mode, which is a huge boost for the camera of Galaxy S6. Additionally, you will find the selective focus, the panorama, the slow motion, the fast motion, virtual shots, and again the ability to download all the other modes. Similarly, you will find the settings and you can play along with all these particular features in the camera and see along how the particular picture can be taken. The effects and all just adds up to the beauty of camera for Samsung Galaxy S6. Let me show you by shooting a live picture in front of you for both the handsets using a similar object, similar light condition and similar mode of camera, that is auto mode. At first, let us go ahead with the Samsung Galaxy S5. I'll use tap to focus, hit the camera. You will see that it easily detects a focus and shoots a picture. Now put aside the S5 for now and shoot a picture with the Galaxy S6. Similarly for S6 also, it detects the autofocus very easily. Now let us put aside the object and open the picture for both the handsets and watch very closely. You will find the Samsung Galaxy S5 is at the top over here. Now if I look at the picture, my first impression is that I don't know why I have an inclination towards S6. I am just zooming the pictures in S5. You will see the clarity, the vividness and the brightness, each and every aspect does look great in S5. But nevertheless, S6, if I look at it, it will show you that it does have a better edge, a better clarification and a better picture satisfaction than S5, although both having the same camera. Now the difference in the picture is that it does has some wonderful features with the HDR mode, the Pro modes, the digital image stabilization and many other features in S6 which actually makes it a great camera end of the day, because S6 has a focal length of f by 1.9 whereas for S5 it's f by 2.2. So the difference in picture is quite clearly and vividly visible over here. Similarly, if I go to the front camera for both the handsets and check out what are the features available again for the front camera. Strikingly, the Samsung Galaxy S5, it is a 2.1 megapixel shooter for the front camera. At first, let us go to S5 and check out the modes that are available. You will see it's the auto, the beauty face, the shorten mode, the dual camera, the manage modes and the download option. Again, you will find the settings and you can play along with these particular features and see how the photos come along. Now for S6, if I go to the front camera and watch the mode, you will find that yeah, it does have an additional wide selfie mode that enables you to shoot a group selfie, the virtual shots, the interval shots and also the ability to download all the other modes. Similarly, in the settings for the front camera in S6 also, they have given you a lot of options to use to play along and take a selfie. Let me go ahead and take a selfie with the S6 at first. Now let me go ahead and shoot a selfie with the S5. Now if I put the picture in the Samsung Galaxy S5 at first on the right hand side and the S6 on the left hand side, you will find a huge difference for both the cameras, as it's only a 2.1 megapixel shooter for S5. The clarity is good but not that great as it is in S6. You will find S6 does give you a wonderful feeling even for the front camera as well. Now the camera wise, S6 has no comparison whatsoever with the S5. Till the time the S5 was in the market, we used to say that yeah, Samsung has done a good job, but yeah, it was not satisfactory and not up to the limit. But with the S6 and its sister concern of the S6 Edge, Samsung has truly lived up to its expectation and gone beyond that. It has loaded a lot of features, a lot of technology, and it has made the S6 and the S6 Edge a very powerful device for any smartphones whatsoever present in 2015 till date. As per my verdict goes, I guess the Samsung Galaxy S6 is a clear winner in all departments regardless of the price, although it's heavily priced currently. But having said that, S5 also used to have a high pricing at that time, and as is with Samsung, with time there does have a tendency to reduce the pricing, so we need to see in that department also. Now as far as multitasking, performance, gaming and each and everything goes, I guess S5 does not give even a bit of competition to S6, because S6 does outperforms in each and every aspect. But still it's too early to predict, as because we need to use the S6 for a much longer time, maybe nearly 8 months, 9 months, 10 months, and see how the device keeps along till that time. Everything remains to be seen, but as of now I select that S6 is a clear winner in all departments. But end of the day, it's me. You guys let me know in the comment section below, what do you guys prefer to go for. If you have liked the video, please do give a thumbs up. It does help the channel. And please stay subscribed to my channel. I'll catch you guys in my next video very soon. Bye for now.